In July 2000, execs at the Disney Network greenlit a comedy pilot about a wacky schoolgirl named Lizzie McGuire. Now, all they had to do was find the perfect Lizzie.
What I was looking for was someone who was immensely likable and immensely relatable, and without having someone special, it wouldn't fly.
Enter Hilary Duff, reluctantly. The 12-year-old was still smarting from getting fired off the sitcom Daddy-O.
I went home for a little while, and my manager called and was like, Disney really wants you to go on an audition. They knew who I was because I auditioned for them so many times. And I was like, no, I'm done. I want a big break. I don't want to do that anymore.
We're like, a Disney show? No way. You know, they just, took her off of another show. She's not going to get it. We were kind of in like a negative state of mind that day.
I just kept reading and reading and reading actors, trying to find someone that could embody the part. Probably considered, I would say, 400 or 500 people.
My manager kept calling, please, one more time, come out here and visit, And I was like, if I go out there and go on the audition and don't even really care about the audition, I get to see all my friends. So I came and I saw all my friends, and I went in and I did a terrible job because I hadn't read my lines.
I was very honest about it and said, you need to get more into the character, and I was trying to give her some direction because I knew there was so much there.
She was kind of like, no one's told me I ever did like a bad job in an audition,
And then I started to feel the challenge all over again. That feeling that I love to feel. I think it just really inspired me to go in and knock them dead the next time.
And she did. And she was better. And even cuter.
She was natural, and there was enough there that you just knew that there was a gigantic spark.
There was some stiff competition.
There was a great pool of talent that included Lindsay Lohan, Sarah Paxton, Holly Hirsch, all of whom were terrific, and we were very excited about presenting to the network.
But Hilary's mom wanted to spare her daughter any further heartbreak.
Her mother found out that my producer wanted another actress and pulled her out and said, I'm not going to test her because I don't want to put my daughter through this. So look, this other girl's not going to get it. Hilary's going to get this part. Please put her back in the mix. I'm telling you she's going to get this part. I just felt it. So the mother said, okay. And they put her back in.
Hilary still had to jump through hoops, almost literally.
5 auditions. And each time, more and more people are in the room, so it gets more and more intimidating. And they would ask you to do crazy things. And they would be like, what can you do? What are your special talents? And anything funny. And I was like walking around the room on my hands, like upside down, and they all laughed.
Hilary was just so cute and so likable and so real that even though the other actors may have had more training and more work and stuff, we all just sort of kept on gravitating. It's really kind of her.
There was something about her. She was somewhere between a young Shirley Temple and a young Marilyn Monroe. She lit up the screen.
They loved her, and then about a few days later, they told us that Hilary was a choice.
I remember getting the phone call, and just all 4 of us, like, screaming at the top of our lungs, so excited, because right off the top, we knew that show was going to be a good show for her.
But the pilot didn't live up to expectations. Lizzie McGuire fell flat on screen.
I hated it. I thought it was really, really boring. I remember early on the Disney Channel being absolutely convinced that Hilary couldn't act, and insisting that we bring in an acting coach for her.
So they brought in Troy Rowland to really work with all the kids on the show as a way just to kind of run lines with them, make sure they understood sort of the beats of the scene, and to kind of help them focus.
After the experience of Daddy-O, we thought, oh my gosh, they're bringing this guy in because they don't like her. We thought, oh my God, she's going to get replaced again.
The veteran acting guru sized up the situation, paying special attention to Hilary.
I walked on set and I saw this little teeny young lady just with a high voice talking really fast, and I said, wow, this is a pretty interesting young lady.
We saw him come in and we're like, I just don't know how this is going to work.
Troy is a pretty big, intimidating looking guy, And, you know, Hilary and the rest of the cast are these 12-year-old kids pretty much.
So we gave Troy a pretty hard time the first, week or two he was there. And then Troy finally sat her down and was like, I'm not here because you're going somewhere. You're here for good. I'm here to help everyone.
With the ice broken, the star got down to business. Her salary, a very grown-up $15,000 per episode. Duff earned every penny.
It was definitely a lot of work. If you think about it, I was in the A story and the B story because the TV show was all about me. Legally, I could work a 9.5-hour day, and that included 3 hours of school.
I think a lot of people try to make it like she, was this overnight thing, but she worked really hard to be where she is.
Coming up, Duff Mania.
We literally were not in control of our environment. People were falling over, almost getting hit.